Accordingly, Ramakrishna organization was established in 1897, and from then on, as we all know, because most of the devotees, they are very long time connected with organization, so they know the history very well. But still, those who are new, for them to introduce. And from then on, from 1897 onwards, slowly in many areas of the country, of the world, many centers came up, and thus message started spreading. This is the organization of sannyasis, those youngsters who are not interested to lead the life of samsara. There is nothing wrong in that, but if those not interested, they join and they help to spread the message of Sri Ramakrishna. And slowly many centers came up, many places, still those many new centers are coming up. So one of the ashramas, one of the centers is established in Kadapa. Actually, the history of Kadapa ashrama is very interesting. In 1910, in Kadapa city proper, there was one gentleman by name Khan Bahadur Manjumiya. He was Unani doctor, and somehow he was attracted to Sri Ramakrishna. Keeping his picture in front of him, he used to meditate on him, and he expressed to somebody that I see Muhammad in him, in Sri Ramakrishna. So he donated his living building for the cause of Ramakrishna Samajam that time, not Ramakrishna Math. Ramakrishna Samajam was established in 1910. And then some devotees, they started gathering together, and some satsangas, etc., they started conducting. And there, one great thing is Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj, who is well known as Mahapurush Maharaj, one of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, visited Kadapa, that building. Swami Yatishwaranji, one of the vice presidents, also visited. Swami Sharvananji, again one of the vice presidents, visited. So it has become really Punya Bhumi. So like that, in 1910, this Ramakrishna Samajam was started, and some devotees, they started gathering and conducting satsangas. It went on for some years. Then again everything stopped. And for many years that nothing was happening. That building also was like that. Somewhere around at the end of 20th century, that like 1999 or 2000, one gentleman by name Ramana Reddy, he was very much interested, and he went Belur Math, Chennai. He was very much interested, that he felt that one Ramakrishna Math should be there in Kadapa. With that, keeping that purpose in the mind, he went to Chennai, because Gautamanji Maharaj is there, vice presidents, one of the vice presidents. He went to Belur Math, and many times he visited, and finally he got it sanctioned that one Math can be established in Kadapa. And in the same building it was established, where that Dr. Khan Bahadur Manjumiya donated the building. And then on, many Swamis, first Swami went there, Atmavidananji, they stayed in that building, but that building was not sufficient to conduct the ashrama activities. So they started searching for land. Accordingly, they got 10 acres of land. It is away from main city, that Kadapa town, 10 kilometers away, and 10 acres land. It is beautiful place, forest areas, and behind the hillock that range forest, this hill range is there. And around 2004 to 2005, that land was acquired, and activities slowly started. Now there is a school from LKG to 10th class with minimum fees, of course, and we have buses to, because it is far away from town, 10 kilometers, so some points are there. We have 4 buses and we drop the children at their spots, and then parents come at that point and then pick them up to carry their home. And it is state level syllabus, English medium school. We have capacity of 350 students, but after COVID there was naturally effect, and it was seen in the strength. So at present we have 250, but next year we are expecting around full strength, and we are trying for that. And slowly we want to introduce sports. So at present we have their volleyball, football, skating, etc. For outside children also we are planning to give them chance to train them, because sports is one of the main activities in the life by which our physique can remain active, brain can become active. Our Upanishad also says, Nayam Atma Balahinena Labhyaha. This Atman cannot be realized by the weak people, physically weak people. So Swami also says in one of his lectures while addressing the gathering in Chennai, Madras that time, he addresses to the young people. He says, if you first play the football, then you will understand Gita better. What does it mean? Is if physique is strong, then there is enthusiasm, there is energy in the body, and we can grasp any spiritual topic or philosophical topic or any complex subject very easily. So keeping that idea in mind, that sports activity, slowly we are introducing one by one. And there is one Vemana University in Kadapa, very famous university, very big. They have sports academy, and the sports director is very devoted to Ramakrishna Math. Under his guidance we are slowly developing that. This is in the new ashrama. And one more activity we have is Balaka Ashrama. That is from 8, 9 and 10 class students. Those who are poor but meritorious. They don't have money to pay the fees, etc. Those children, we keep them in ashrama, give them education, and their residence and food, etc. we take care. And then afterwards they get admission into college anywhere they want. And this is as far as that new campus is concerned. Our old building where Kadapa town, where main ashrama started, there recently we have constructed a bookstall because literature is very important. Literature is spreading literature of Sri Ramakrishna, Swamiji and other value education related literature. Like here you might have seen bookstall in our ashrama. The same books will be there, and slowly that is also picking up. And slowly we want to start there for children, Bal Vikas Kendra and tuition centers, free tuition centers, etc. So people are coming forward to encourage our activities, to support us financially by giving their time, etc. So it's all God's work. God will have His own plans. We have to tune ourselves with His plans. So those people, those who are interested, they come and they visit, and then they like that activities, and they contribute their time, either financially, time or whatever, according to their capacity. So this is in short about our activities. Now coming to our topic. Today's topic was not declared purposely, because I myself did not know what topic I am going to speak. But I selected. I felt it is a proper topic for all of our devotees, because Many devotees, they are coming for so many years, as if they are soaked in the Ramakrishna Vivekananda teachings. So we are going to discuss about Manasa Puja. Manasa Puja is considered one of the highest kind of worship in our scriptures. In fact, there is one shloka. It says, Prathama Pratima Puja Japastotradi Madhyama Uttama Manasi Puja Soham Bhava Uttamottamaha. The meaning is Prathama Pratima Puja. Prathama means first, means initial stage. When a person he feels attracted towards God, then initially his worship may be related with some kind of external help, like image or picture or maybe some place, whatever it may be. So we all know that we go to temples or in our homes, some God's pictures will be there. We worship those pictures and we feel joy in our hearts. So that we feel a kind of peace of mind. Prathama Pratima Puja, but that is only initial stage. Japastotradi Madhyama. Then what happens after performing this Pratima Puja? After some days or maybe some years, depends upon each individual minds. When a person progresses, what is a progress? Progress means developing love for God. When a person develops intense love for God, then he finds joy in chanting stotras, japa sadhana, etc. Then that time he does not feel the need of Pratima Puja, offering worship, flowers, etc. Not that he will hate, not that he will avoid, but naturally he feels that now in my mind I can get joy by remembering Lord. Japa stotradi madhyama. So he starts worshipping, so he starts doing japa or chanting stotra, he gets joy. Then uttama manasi puja. Then what happens in the mind? Mind he feels a kind of mental worship. Everything happens in the mind. Mentally he constructs image and he starts offering flowers. He starts worshipping as externally we do. Everything he does mentally. And he gets absorbed into it. He gets great joy in that. That is called Uttama Manasi Puja. Why it is called Uttama? Because you need not find any place, particular temple or place or any ingredients, etc. So that is called Uttama. Anybody can worship that, irrespective of person's financial, because mentally we don't have any expenditure. And last stage is Soham Bhava Uttamaha. Soham means Saha Aham, means I am that, what our Upanishad teaches. Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi. That means you and God are not different. To know that. What is you? You is Jivatma and that is God. Now you and Jivatma and Paramatma, these not two different things. Both are one. But out of our ignorance, we see them as different. Like Upanishad gives example. Suppose there is a clay, there is a mud, and if you make the pot out of it, then mud is converted into the pot. That means some shape is changed. Otherwise, there is no difference between mud and pot. Both are same. Rather, to say both are same also is wrong, because these are not two different things. Same mud has just taken shape, that's all. But we call it a pot. So this Nama Rupatmakam Jagat, we are caught in the Nama Rupatmakam Jagat. Everything has name and form. and we are caught into it. That is why we suffer. So to know that, to realize that there is no difference between Jivatma and Paramatma. That's what Gita teaches us. There is no difference between Jivatma and Paramatma. To know that Paramatma is nothing but God realization. God realization is not something you have to have darshan of Shankha Chakradhari, Vishnu and all things. These are all darshanas is okay. It's only a milestone. That is not ultimate final stage of spirituality. Because when a devotee has darshan, when he says, I had darshan, I have vision, that means still there is a separation. There is a separation between that devotee and Lord. But when there is no separation, when that Jivatma or devotee feels, rather it is experience, it's not only feeling. He experiences that there is no difference between him and Lord. That is called Soham Bhava. And that is Uttamo Uttamaha. It's not only Uttamaha, Uttamo Uttamaha. So Uttama Manasi Puja, Soham Bhava Uttamo Uttamaha. Now, these are not four different stages, different aspects, but these are the stages. Prathama Pratima Puja, Japa Stotradi Madhyama, Uttama Manasi Puja, Soham Bhava Uttamottamaha. So these are the stages which occur in everybody's life, rather should occur. That's why Swamiji says, it's good to be born in church, but bad to die there. That means our spiritual journey or spiritual life may start with the help of external objects for worshipping. We may take the support of any image, maybe Ramakrishna, Chaitanya, anybody. But ultimately our mind should progress and we should realize that principle. Then Manasi Puja will come and then Soham Bhava will come. Now there is a beautiful story of one of the, Tamil Nadu, there are Nayanars, 63 Nayanars are there. And one of them was Vailar. So this Vailar was very poor farmer, but very, very devoted to God. And there was one temple, Shiva temple, he used to regularly visit, and hours together he used to sit there. But somehow he did not like the way Lord was worshipped. He was not feeling any interest in that. So he decided to build his own temple. And he built his own temple with very all costly materials. Silver walls, varieties of metals he used in that walls. And that Shivlinga was decorated with costly ornaments, diamonds, all around diamonds he had kept. And pillars were decorated with different pearls, diamonds, etc. Whole temple was shining and surrounded by kalpavrukshas. That Shivlinga was surrounded by kalpavrukshas. So this kind of temple he built. Now after listening the story, we may ask, question may arise in our mind, this Vailar was such a poor farmer, and to construct such a gorgeous temple, diamond, etc. using, from where he got the money? So this temple he did not construct on earth, but he constructed this temple in his mind. And he started worshipping Lord Shiva. He started offering that mental worship with all best materials, best flowers and all these things. And slowly, as he started developing the love for God, started absorbing his mind into the worship, he became one with Lord. So this is the power of mental worship, that is Manasa Puja. So, when a devotee practices Manasa Puja, what happens is his mind becomes one with the Lord. And it is a stage. It's like as we go on developing love for God. So that bhakti aspect is very important. That's why Sri Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says in Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. So Patram Pushpam, what we are offering does not matter. But with what mind, with what attitude we offer, that is important. So that attitude or the kind of love we should have, if that we have, then our small offering also becomes very valuable. That's why Sri Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. You may offer me with a leaf or fruit, one single fruit, or flower, simple flower, or simple water. But if you offer with great devotion, you may bhaktya prayachati. So I become happy with that devotee. And what is a bhakti? Narad Maharshi in his Narad Bhakti Sutra says, what is bhakti? Satu asmin parama prema rupa. Parama prema rupa. Amrita swarupacha. So bhakti, definition of bhakti is Satu asmin parama prema rupa. Parama prema rupa. Simple prema rupa nahi. Parama prema rupa means when that as far as Lord is concerned, devotee forgets himself. That is a Parama Prema Rupa. That gopis, Vrindavan gopis, when they heard Krishna's flute, they left everything without their knowledge and they were attracted towards Sri Krishna. That is a love. So, that love by efforts only we can develop. If we take simple example, suppose everyone may be having his close friend, but if you go back and you will find there was one time today who is close friend, he may be unknown person. He was unknown person some years back. Then what happens? We got introduced to each other and we became friends. And slowly we started inviting him. And initially so many formalities were there. You come on this day, this time. Then that friend came. Then he was offered seat, nice seat, and all eatables. This was formalities. But slowly as acquaintance increased, as that frequently they started meeting, then they developed closeness. And then that formality was not necessary. Then we need not offer any seat or anything. He will come, he will sit somewhere, he will feel as if he is in his own home. So same thing happens with a God also. There are many people who go on worshipping hours together, but we don't find any kind of transformation in their life. Transformation is very important. If we offer mechanically everything, then there will not be any transformation in the mind. And if we offer, suppose, best flowers or anything, finally, ultimately, these flowers belong to whom? Belong to Lord only. So what we are giving really to Lord? Nothing. His thing only we are giving him. In Bengal they say, Bengali, Ganga Jale Ganga Puja. That means, somewhere in the June month, there is one day Ganga Puja will be there. Ganga Puja they do. Which water they use? Ganga water only. So with Ganga water, they do Ganga Puja. Similarly, with God's thing only we are worshipping Him. But if we develop that arrogance, ahankara, that I am worshipping Lord, I am offering so much money or fruits or flowers, then that very moment we are away from God. Because what we are giving to God is God's thing only. So what God wants is our prema, our love, our bhakti. We have to offer our ahankara at his feet. Now let us take example. Suppose father is giving some pocket money to his child, his boy, and then he may be going to school or college. From that pocket money, that boy is saving some money because he wants to present some gift to father on his birthday. And then he starts saving money, and when he gets sufficient money, then he purchases some object, maybe some cloth or something like that. And on his birthday, to surprise his father, he gives that cloth to him. Father feels very happy. He hugs him and he says he feels very joy. Now why he feels joy, father? He can purchase so many clothes if he wants. From his money only, his pocket money, he only has purchased that. But his love, because of that son's love, the father is joyful. Similarly, God is happy with our prema. When we offer, surrender ourselves, oh God, you are the only thing in my mind, in my life. Nobody else is there. Like that, when we offer, then God, always we feel in our heart the presence of God. And then we always will be joyful. We will not be affected by the external happiness or miseries. External happiness, miseries, they will come and go. But all the time we will be happy. That's why you will find, if you go through any saints, life of saints, most of them, almost more than 90% you can say, they were very poor and hardly they had so much hardships, even to gather 2 times meal. But they never complained. And not that because they were devoted to God, their financial status improved. Not like that also. They had to suffer all the worldly miseries, but they were joyful. They did not feel that misery, because when we feel misery, when we are attached to world. But when we are attached to God, then there is no misery. Misery is an idea. Happiness and misery is an idea. There is no happiness or there is no misery. There is only fact. So there is when we are tuned with a God's feeling, then we don't come across any kind of feeling, any kind of misery. So that's the thing. And that is why that bhakti aspect is very important. We have to develop that love in our hearts. Then you will find that slowly God reveals within our heart. And that is experience. God reveals does not mean again you will see image or something like that. But a kind of ananda, a kind of joy we feel in our heart. That is very important. That is the ultimate aim of life. That consciousness, Sat Chit Ananda. To realize that consciousness is the ultimate goal of human life. So, when this love is developed for God, then what happens is Manas Puja comes automatically. We need not have to make any special efforts. We need not think that I should give up this worship, this image worship I should give up, I should meditate. Not necessary. It comes automatically. It's like children. When children they are interested in eating some stuff which is not very nutritious, like chocolates, etc. But when the same child grows into a grown man, then he will not feel attracted towards it. Not that he will hate the chocolate, not that he will not eat chocolate at all, but he will know that there is no much value in it. Same thing happens when a devotee reaches to the stage of Manasa Puja. So not that he doesn't like to worship God with flowers, fruits, etc. He will worship, but he will not depend on completely on that. He is always joyful. The mind is always at the feet of God. That's why you will find when you read the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna's every incident we can learn. Sri Ramakrishna was born to teach. Otherwise, he did not have any desire. So, when we see his worship of Mother Kali, we can understand what he used to do. He never followed any kind of procedure, ritualistic procedure as prescribed in the book. When we sit for the puja, what we do? We see the book and follow the sequence. That is necessary, of course, because we are not reached that stage. So we follow the sequence. First, some water has to be offered, then flower, then agarbatti, all whatever it is according to the mantra. But Sri Ramakrishna had developed that love for God, the love for Divine Mother, that he need not follow any procedure. So he was behaving with her just like mother. So he will take the flowers, keep on her head, or sometimes on his head. Then he will bring that food offering. Then he will try to feed her. And he will say, because he used to talk, other people, they used to see only image and one somebody is worshipping her. But for Sri Ramakrishna, that mother was living. That's why he says to, when Mahendranath Gupta asks, why should we worship that clay image? Then he says, it is not clay image, it is full of chinmayi, full of consciousness. So Sri Ramakrishna used to see that mother, and how we behave with our mother, like that he used to behave with her. So he will bring that food offering, he will try to feed her. Then that mother probably used to tell, no, first you eat, then I will eat. Then he will say, okay, you are asking me to eat first. All right, first let me eat. Then he will eat. Now you can imagine the offering which meant for God. If Pujari himself eat first, how we will feel? We will feel angry. So that's what happened with other people. But for Sri Ramakrishna, that Mother Kali was very much living being. So even while giving her bed also, he used to say, okay, I will sleep near you, like a child sleeping with mother. So this was a relation developed. That is called prema. That is called ultimate prema. So this kind of relation when we develop, then we feel God is our own. Otherwise, many they say, he is God-feared personality. Why should we become God-feared personality? We should become God-loving personality. So God is not the entity to be afraid of. God is to be loved, then we can understand the love of God. That's what Ramakrishna Maharaj used to say. So that sunlight falls on everybody. It doesn't discriminate. It falls on dirty water also, on good water also, on every human being it falls, on all beings. But those who are carrying umbrella, they will see everywhere sunlight is there, on his head only not falling. Why? Because he has opened the umbrella. That umbrella is nothing but ahankara. So when he closes the umbrella, sunlight will fall on him also. Like that, God's grace is there on everyone. Only thing is, we have big list of requirements, and we feel that God is not helping us, God is not listening our prayers. When we feel that God is not listening our prayers, then we have to understand that my prayer is not up to the mark. It is not reaching to God. So I should pray intensely. And God's will should be done. And like this, when we develop love for God, then our Manasa Puja becomes very strong. In fact, there are so many incidents, you will be surprised to know the power of Manasa Puja. It is unbelievable. Recently, just maybe some years back, one lady, old lady, she used to go to one temple, and after having darshan of the Lord inside, she used to come out and she used to sit quietly taking support of one pillar. And she used to do Manasa Puja. One day what happened, she was sitting quietly, closing her eyes, mentally offering flowers, fruits to the Lord. And she was so much absorbed in that worship. She was offering that one kind of saint, agru it is called. Agru bottle was there mentally. She was offering to the Lord. That time, temple closing time was up. So that Pujari was driving away to everyone. So he saw this old lady, she was quietly sitting, closing eyes. He saw only she sitting with closing eyes, but he did not know what was going on in her mind. Mentally she was offering so many ingredients. And he shouted at her, please, Amma, please get up, temple closing time is up, I have to close the temple. In the process, that bottle, in the mental worship, that bottle fell on her sari. Not actual, in mental worship. And she got up from this thing. She opened her eyes and found Pujari is asking her to get up, and at that time, her sari was smelling with that aguru. So this is the power of mental worship. Because our mind is only thing in this world. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. So like that there are so many incidents are there. In Shankaracharya's life also, one of his disciples, they are all Advaitin. And somewhere in Madhya Pradesh, they were all Dvaitins. And there was tremendous enmity almost between Dvaitin and Advaitin. So that king also was Dvaitin. He wanted to get rid of this Shankaracharya disciple who was Advaitin. So he planned one thing. He called many scholars, including this Shankaracharya disciple. And he put one earthen pot in the middle. That earthen pot had black cobra in that. It was covered with cloth. Nobody knew except king what is there in the earthen pot. And he asked all the scholars to meditate and find out what is there in the earthen pot. They all meditated, and in their mind they saw there is a cobra. Shankaracharya disciple also, he saw there is a cobra. But he thought one more thing. If this Srishti, if this Jagat, if this whole world is creation of our own mind, then I can change that cobra into any other object. Because all the objects, we are all the permutation and combination of Pancha Mahabhutas. Percentage of Pancha Mahabhutas is less or more. Based on that, some are human beings, some are animals, some are trees, etc. So, if this is a combination of Pancha Mahabhutas, and if this is a creation of the mind, by my will, if I can change the combination, then I can convert that object into any other object. So he converted that object into, that snake into a lotus. This is not magic. This is purely logic. So, because by our thinking only creation starts. So he converted that snake into lotus. And then when all they came out of that meditation, and then king asked one by one, what did you see in that, what did you see in that, what did you? Everybody said cobra, I say I saw cobra. Only Shankaracharya disciple says, I saw lotus in that. King was very happy, because now he can easily eliminate him. So king said, is it so? Then let me worship you with this lotus only. So when they opened that earthen pot, uncovered, they found there was lotus. There was no cobra. So this is a power of the mind. So Uttama Manasi Puja. So since we are all coming for many years, we should develop that love for God, so that what will happen is our mind will become full of joy. Let us forget about all miracles as thing, but mind becomes full of joy. That is what we want. We are struggling for that. Irrespective of what is happening outside. Terrible misery may happen, but it will not cause any kind of reflection or wave in our mind. That is the idea. That's why developing love for God is very important. And how to develop that love for God? So we have to read scriptures, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is there, read saints' life, how they, and connecting with our life. We have to remember what are the things God has done for me. Always we take everything for granted. Oh, God has not done. Always we are complaints. That complaining attitude has to be removed. Rather, what God has given to me, how many things He has given and how many times He has helped me. When we start remembering this, then our love for God increases. And that is how we achieve that stage of Manasa Puja. Om Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhrita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama.
प्राणार्पणं जगत्तारण प्राणार्पणं जगत्तारण कृन्तन कलिडो वञ्चन कामकाञ्चन अति निन्दित इन्द्रिय त्यागेश्वरं हे नारवरं त्यागेश्वर हे नारवर देहपदे निर्भय गत संशय दृढ निश्चय मानस निष्कारण भक्त शरण निष्कारण भक्त शरण त्याजे जाते उलमा संपदं तव श्रीपदं भव गोष्पद वारेयथा प्रेमार्पणं समदर्शन प्रेमार्पणं समदर्शन जगजन दुःख जा संपद तव श्रीपद भव गोष्पद वारे यथा प्रेमार्पण समदर्शन जग जन दुख जा नमो नमो प्रभु वाक्य मनातीत नमो नमो प्रभु वाक्य मनातीत मन वचनैकाधार प्रभु मन वचनैकाधार ज्योतिर्ज्योतिवोज्ज्वल हृदि कंधर ज्योतिर्ज्योतिवोज्ज्वल हृदि कंधर तुमि तम भंजनः प्रभु तुमि तम भंजनः नमो नमो प्रभु वाक्य मनातीत नमो नमो प्रभु वाक्य मनातीत मन वचनैकाधार प्रभु मन वचनैकाधार ज्योतिर्ज्योतिवोज्ज्वल हृदि कंधर ज्योतिर्ज्योतिवोज्ज्वल हृदि कंधर तुमि तम भंजनः प्रभु तुमि तम भंजनः धीरे लंग रंग भंग बाजे अंग संग मृदंग धीरे लंग रंग भंग बाजे अंग संग मृदंग गायच छंद भक्त वृंद आरती तोमार गायच छंद भक्त वृंद आरती तोमार जय जय आरती तोमार हर हर आरती तोमार शिव शिव आरती तोमार खंडन भव बंधन जग वंदन वंदे तो जय श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। ॐ ह्रीं ऋतं त्वमचलो गुणजित् गुणेड्यः नक्तं देवं सकरुणं तव पाद पद्मं मोहङ्कषं बहुकृतं न भजेयतोऽहं तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो भक्तिर्भगश्च भजनं भवभेदकारे गच्छन्त्यलं सुविपुलं गमनाय तत्त्वं वक्त्रोद्धृतोऽपि हृदये न च भाति किञ्चित् तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो तेजस्तरन्ति तरसा त्वयि तृप्ता तृष्णा रागे कृते हृतपथे त्वयि राम कृष्णे मर्त्यामृतं तव पदं मरणोर्मि नाशं तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो कृत्यं करोति कलुषं कुहकान्तकारे स्नान्तं शिवं सुविमलं तव नामनाथं यस्मादहं त्वशरणो जगदेक गम्यां तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्म स्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। ॐ सर्वमङ्गल माङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। सृष्टि स्थितिविनाशानां शक्ति सनातनीं गुणाश्रये गुणामये नारायणीं नमोस्तुते। शरणागता दीनार्ता परित्राण परायणीं सर्वस्यार्थे हरे देवीं नारायणीं नमोस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोस्तुते। प्रकृतिं परमाम् अभयां वरदां नररूपधरां जनतापहरं शरणागतसेवकतोषकरीं प्रणमामि परां जननीं जगतां। गुणहीनसुतान् अपराधयुतान् कृपयाद्य समुद्धर मोहगतान्। तरणीं भवसागरपारकरीं प्रणमामि परां जननीं जगतां। विषयं कुसुमं परिहृत्य सदा चरणाम्बुरुहामृतशान्तिसुधां इव भृङ्गमनो भवरोगहरां। प्रणमामि परां जननीं जगताम्। कृपां कुरु महादेवी सुतेषु प्रणतेषु च शरणाश्रयदानेन कृपामयी नमोऽस्तु ते। लज्जापटावृते नित्यं शारदे ज्ञानदायिके पापेभ्यो नः सदा रक्ष कृपामयी नमोऽस्तु ते। रामकृष्णगतप्राणा तन्नाम श्रवणप्रियां तद्भावरञ्जिताकारां प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। पवित्रं चरितं यस्याः पवित्रं जीवनं तथा पवित्रता स्वरूपिण्यै तस्यै कुर्मो नमो नमः। देवीं प्रसन्नां प्रणतार्तिहन्त्रीं योगेन्द्रपूज्यां युगधर्मपात्रीं तां शारदां भक्तिविज्ञानदात्रीं दयास्वरूपां प्रणमामि नित्यम्। स्नेहेन बध्नासि मानोस्मदेयं दोषानशेषान् सगुणीकरोषि आहेतुनानोदयसे सदोषान् स्वाङ्के गृहीत्वा यदिदं विचित्रम्। प्रसीद मातर्विनयेन याचे नित्यं भव स्नेहवती सुतेषु। प्रेमैकबिन्दुं चिरदग्धचित्ते विषिञ्च चित्तं कुरु न सुशान्तम्। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोः श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः।
పేజ్ నెంబర్ 6. मुदाकरार्तमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतंसकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैक न ते तरातिभीकरं नवोदितार्कभास्वरं नमःसुरारिनिर्जरं नदाधिकापदुद्धरं सुरेश्वरं निधीश्वरं गजेश्वरं गणेश्वरं महेश्वरं तमाश्रये परात्परं निरन्तरम्। समस्तलोकशङ्करं निरस्तदैत्यकुञ्जरं दरेतरोदरं क्षरं कृपाकरं क्षमाकरं मुदाकरं यशस्करं मनस्करं नमस्कृतां नमस्करोमि भास्वरम्। अकिञ्चनातिमार्जनं
चिरन्तनोति भाजनं पुरारिपूर्वनन्दनं सुरारिगर्वचर्वनं
नाशभीषणं धनञ्जयादिभूषणं
कपोलदानवारणं भजे पुराणवारणम्
नितान्तकान्तदन्तकान्तिमन्तकान्तकात्मजम् अचिन्त्यरूपमन्तहीनमन्तराय
कृन्दनं कृदन्तरे निरन्तरं वसन्तमेव योगिनां तमेकदन्तमद्भुतं विचिन्तयामि सन्ततम्
तमेकदन्तमद्भुतं विचिन्तयामि सन्ततं तमेकदन्तमद्भुतं
विचिन्तयामि सन्ततम्
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां श्रीगणेश 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 रक्ष मां जय
गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां श्रीगणेश 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 रक्ष मां
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां श्रीगणेश 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 रक्ष मां जय
गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां श्रीगणेश 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 रक्ष मां
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां श्रीगणेश 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 रक्ष मां
जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां श्रीगणेश 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 रक्ष मां
श्रीगणेश 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 रक्ष मां श्रीगणेश 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 रक्ष मां रक्ष मां పేజ్ 2424 चंद्रशेखर 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 पाहि मां चंद्रशेखर 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 रक्ष मां चंद्रशेखर चंद्रशेखर
चन्द्रशेखर पाहि मां चन्द्रशेखर 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 रक्ष मां
रत्नसानुशरासनो रजताद्रि शृङ्गनिकेतनं शिञ्जिनीकृतपन्नगेश्वरम् अच्युताननसायकं क्षिप्रदग्धपुरत्रयं त्रिदशालयैरभिनन्दितं चन्द्रशेखरमाश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वय्यमा भेषजं भव आपदामपहारिणौ दक्षयज्ञविनाशनं त्रिगुणात्मकं त्रिविलोचनं भक्तिमुक्तिफलप्रदं सकलाघसङ्घविनाशनम् चन्द्रशेखर 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 पाहि मां चन्द्रशेखर 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 रक्ष मां भक्तवत्सलमर्चितं निधिमक्षयं हरिदम्बरं सर्वभूतपतिं परात्परमप्रमेय अनुत्तमं सोमवारण भूताशन सोमपानिलकाकृतिम् चन्द्रशेखरमाश्रये मम किं करिष्यति विश्वसृष्टिविधायिनौ पुनरेव पालन तत्परम् संहरन्तमपि प्रपञ्चमशेष लोकनिवासिनौ क्रीडयन्तमहर्निशौ गणनाथयोत समन्वितम् चन्द्रशेखरमाश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वय्यमा चन्द्रशेखर
चन्द्रशेखर पाहि मां
चन्द्रशेखर चन्द्रशेखर क्षमां चन्द्रशेखर रक्ष मां चन्द्रशेखर रक्ष माम्
129 1 to 9. पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। वस्तु अमूलिक दी मेरे सतगुरु, वस्तु अमूलिक दी मेरे सतगुरु। कृपा कर अपनायो, पायो जी मैंने कृपा कर अपनायो। पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, पायो जी मैंने। जन्म जन्म की पूंजी पाई, जन्म जन्म की पूंजी पाई। जग में सब ही खोवायो, पायो जी मैंने जग में सब ही खोवायो। पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, पायो जी मैंने राम रतन। खरचन खूटैवा को चोरन लूटै, खरचन खूटैवा को चोरन लूटै। दिन दिन बढ़त सवायो, पायो जी मैंने दिन दिन बढ़त सवायो। पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, पायो जी मैंने। सत की नाव खेवटिया सतगुरु, खेवटिया सतगुरु। भवसागर तर आयो, पायो जी मैंने भवसागर तर आयो। पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर, मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर। हरख हरख जस गायो, पायो जी मैंने हरख हरख जस गायो। पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। ఒకటి ఐదు రెండు 152. गोवर्धन गिरिधर गोविंद गोवर्धन गिरिधर गोविंद गोकुल पालक परमानंद गोवर्धन गिरिधर गोविंद गोकुल पालक परमानंद श्रीवत्सांकित श्रीकौस्तुभधर भावक भयहर पाहि मुकुंद गोवर्धन गोवर्धन गिरिधर गोविंद आनंदामृत वारिधि खेल आनंदामृत वारिधि खेल अलघु पराक्रम अनुपम शील आनंदामृत वारिधि खेल अलघु पराक्रम अनुपम शील श्रीनंदात्मज श्रितजन पाल श्रीनंदात्मज श्रीकर किशलय लालन लोल गोवर्धन गिरिधर गोविंद गोकुल पालक परमानंद गोवर्धन गिरिधर गोविंद पाटित सुररिपु पाद प्रवृंद पाटित सुररिपु पावन चरित परामृत कंद पाटित सुररिपु पाद प्रवृंद पावन चरित परामृत कंद नाट्य रसोत्कट नाना भरण नाट्य नाना भरण नारायण तीर्थवंदित चरण गोवर्धन गिरिधर गोविंद गोकुल पालक परमानंद गोवर्धन गिरिधर गोविंद श्रीवत्सांकित श्रीकौस्तुभधर भावक भयहर पाहि मुकुंद गोवर्धन गिरिधर गोविंद गो Govinda. One 6 7. Radhe 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 Govinda. Radhe Radhe Govinda. Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Vrindavana Chandra. Anath Nath Dina Bandhu. Radhe Govinda.
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 Pandharinath Panduranga. Radhe Govinda.
Pandharinath Panduranga. Radhe Govinda.
Vrindavana Chandra.
Vrindavana Chandra.
Anath Nath Dina Bandhu. Radhe Govinda.
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 Nanda Kumar Navanita Chora. Radhe Govinda.
Nanda Kumara Navanita Chora. Radhe Govinda.
Nanda Kumar Navanita Chora. Radhe Govinda.
Nanda Kumara Navanita Chora. Radhe Govinda.
Vrindavana Chandra.
Vrindavana Chandra.
Vrindavana Chandra.
Vrindavana Chandra.
Anath Nath Dina Bandhu. Radhe Govinda.
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 Pundarikaksha Purana Purusha. 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 Radhe Govinda.
Vrindavana Chandra.
Vrindavana Chandra.
Anath Nath Dina Bandhu. Radhe
दीन बंधो राधे गोविंद अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधो राधे गोविंद विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय हरि विठ्ठल 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 राधे गोविंद वृंदावन चंद्र वृंदावन चंद्र अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंद 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 अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंद
రెండు 07 207
एक देव सब देव समन्वित देख देख सुख पावो निस दिन राम कृष्ण गुण गाओ निस दिन राम कृष्ण गुण गाओ निस दिन राम कृष्ण गुण गाओ एक देव सब देव समन्वित देख देख सुख पावो निस दिन राम कृष्ण गुण गाओ निस दिन राम कृष्ण गुण गाओ हर गौरी और राम श्याम को एक रूप में गाओ निस दिन हर गौरी और राम श्याम को एक रूप में गाओ निस दिन चरण कमल का लिया आसरा चरण कमल का लिया परम भय पद पाओ निस दिन चरण कमल का लिया आसरा परम भय पद पाओ निस दिन राम कृष्ण गुण गाओ निस दिन राम कृष्ण गुण गाओ शंकर ईशा बुद्ध गौर को परमहंस में पाओ निस दिन। शंकर ईशा परमहंस में पाओ निस दिन। करुणा सिंधु भगवान दयानिधि। करुणा सिंधु भगवान दयानिधि। शुद्ध भक्ति चित पावो निस दिन। करुणा सिंधु भगवान दयानिधि। शुद्ध भक्ति चित पावो निस दिन। राम कृष्ण गुण गाओ निस दिन। राम कृष्ण गुण गाओ निस दिन। राम कृष्ण गुण गाओ। एक देव सब देव समन्वित। देख देख सुख पावो निस दिन। राम कृष्ण गुण गाओ निस दिन। राम कृष्ण गुण गाओ निस दिन। राम कृष्ण गुण गाओ। ओम नमो भगवते रामकृष्णाय। 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 नामावली। दीप्तनयनारविन्दं श्री स्वामी विवेकानन्दं। दीप्तनयनारविन्दं श्री स्वामी विवेकानन्दं। दीप्तनयनारविन्दं श्री स्वामी विवेकानन्दं। भारत वीर नरेन्द्रं त्वां वन्दे सिंहनिनादम्। भारत वीर नरेन्द्रं त्वां भारतवीरनरेन्द्रं त्वां वन्दे सिंहनिनादम्
भारतवीरनरेन्द्रं त्वां वन्दे सिंहनिनादम्
दीप्तनयनारविन्दं श्री स्वामी विवेकानन्दम्
दीप्तनयनारविन्दं श्री स्वामी विवेकानन्दम्
दीप्तनयनारविन्दं श्री स्वामी विवेकानन्दम्
दीप्तनयनारविन्दं श्री स्वामी विवेकानन्दम्
भारतवीरनरेन्द्रं त्वां वन्दे सिंहनिनादम्
भारतवीरनरेन्द्रं त्वां वन्दे सिंहनिनादम्
भारतवीरनरेन्द्रं त्वां वन्दे सिंहनिनादम्
भारतवीरनरेन्द्रं त्वां वन्दे सिंहनिनादम्
दीप्तनयनारविन्दं श्री स्वामी विवेकानन्दम् दीप्तनयनारविन्दं
श्री स्वामी विवेकानन्दम्
दीप्तनयनारविन्दं श्री स्वामी विवेकानन्दम्
दीप्तनयनारविन्दं श्री स्वामी विवेकानन्दम्
भारतवीरनरेन्द्रं त्वां वन्दे सिंहनिनादम्
भारतवीरनरेन्द्रं त्वां वन्दे सिंहनिनादम्
भारतवीरनरेन्द्रं त्वां वन्दे सिंहनिनादम्
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 त्वां वन्दे सिंहनिनादम् सिंहनिनादम्
Few announcements. Coming Thursday, March 30, Sri Ramanavami festival. On this occasion, on the day, Aaratrikam will be at 6:30 p.m. Special worship and bhajans to Sri Ramachandra will be conducted from 7 p.m. onwards. Coming Saturday, 1st April is Ekadashi. Ramnam Sankirtan will be there after Aaratrikam. 2nd April, Sunday, spiritual retreat program will be conducted from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. This program consists of japa, meditation, bhajans, spiritual discourse and reading from spiritual texts. Devotees can register their name at Math office and participate in all these programs and obtain the grace of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. వచ్చే గురువారం మార్చి 30వ తేదీ శ్రీరామనవమి పర్వదినం. ఈ సందర్భంగా ఆ రోజు సాయంత్రం 6:30 ఆరాత్రికము, 7 గంటల నుండి శ్రీరామచంద్రునికి విశేష పూజ, ప్రత్యేక భజనలు నిర్వహించబడతాయి. వచ్చే శనివారం ఏప్రిల్ 1వ తేదీ ఏకాదశి, ఆరాత్రికం అనంతరం రామనామ సంకీర్తన నిర్వహించబడుతుంది. ఏప్రిల్ 2వ తేదీ ఆదివారం ఉదయం 9:30 నుండి 12:30 వరకు అంతర్యోగ కార్యక్రమం నిర్వహించబడుతుంది. జపము, ధ్యానము, భజనలు, ఆధ్యాత్మిక గ్రంథ పఠనము ఇత్యాది అంశాలు ఉన్న ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో పాల్గొనడానికి భక్తులు మీ పేర్లను మఠం ఆఫీస్లో నమోదు చేసుకోవాల్సిందిగా విజ్ఞప్తి. భక్తులందరూ ఈ కార్యక్రమాలన్నింటిలో పాల్గొని భగవాన్ శ్రీరామకృష్ణ కృపకు పాత్రలు కావాల్సిందిగా మనవి.
जय भगवान श्री रामकृष्ण देव की जय. जय श्री शारदा माई की जय. स्वामी विवेकानंद महाराज जी की जय.